And good evening to you from the WMBF studios. Right now, I want to take a moment to update you on Hurricane Idalia. I want to send it right over to meteorologist Robert Whitehurst for the update.
And the good news, the tornado watch canceled.
Good.
That threat coming to an end, but as we've mentioned, the flooding now kind of taking over the bigger issues here. Multiple flash flood warnings now for inland Horry County, Marion County, Florence County. And you can certainly see the reason why. The core of what's left of the system is down to our south. Out ahead of it, the north side, very heavy rain has been setting up. Those flash flood warnings, all areas shaded in that green from Conway, UCLA, Aner, Marion, Florence, basically all of Florence County included. These areas have already seen 5, 6 inches of rain, may throw another 3, 4, 5 inches on top of that. So roadway flooding will be an issue here as we head through tonight. Catching a bit of a break from that steady heavy rain along 501. We've seen a band shifting northward with very heavy rain and some gusty winds for areas along the North Strand. We'll continue to bring in more waves of heavy rain as we head through tonight. It's not until, let's say, 2 or 3 a.m. that we start to see the improvements with the rain. Future radar showing those downpours continuing here through midnight, and then early tomorrow morning as the system begins to lift to the north, we'll see some drier air begin to filter in as we head through tomorrow morning. At the same time, the winds pick up on the backside of the storm. Could see some wind gusts 45 to 50, especially near the Grand Strand as we head through early tomorrow morning.
Let's take a live look now from Highway 501. This is at Main Street in Aner. A lot of raindrops on the lens, but you can see some significant flooding there if you look closely. Some flashing lights as well. Looks like police, in fact, have part of it blocked off there. Now let's check in with Julia Richardson, who is live in Myrtle Beach. What are you seeing there, Julia?
Eric, I'm actually in Surfside Beach right now. I'm off of Ocean Boulevard between 4th and 5th Avenue North. We came up here because we saw some of the viewers' pictures of some road closures up here, so we thought that we wanted to check it out for ourselves. But as you can see right now, I'm going to shine a light so you guys can see it better. This is this little runoff area, and before, we've been here about 2 hours, but before maybe around 8 o'clock, it was higher up. It had breached the fence and kind of gone over into that parking lot over there. But you can still see some debris where the water ran over the fence. So where I'm shining the light now, you can see there's a log there, some debris. We also did just see a utility vehicle go past us. And the road closures seem to be better now, but there was a road closure up the road, but now the rain is starting to come down a little bit more. So sending back to you in the studio.
Santee Cooper has a few outages with 20 or less customers affected across our area. Now, Duke Energy reporting more than 600 outages north of Nichols and around 140 in the Florence area. Horry Electric has more than 900 outages. That's near the Myrtle Beach International Airport, as well as some near Gallivan's Ferry. Many of you are sending over pictures of the flooding that you're seeing. This one is from Madison at Beach Life Resort. You can see the surf there is pretty strong. Let's take a look at the next one. Also from our crew in the North Myrtle Beach area. You can see a lot of flooding there coming close to some of those homes. Remember, you can send your pictures and your videos through the WMBF First Alert weather app, and it is also one of your best tools to stay informed as Idalia moves through our area. Scan the QR code that you see there on the left side of your screen. Once you have it downloaded, make sure you turn on your notifications. That's very important. And also, make sure your Follow Me feature is turned on. We're going to see you right back here in just about 25 minutes. We'll have another cut in and bring you the latest update on Idalia.
Where's the IFB? Is it on me? Is it on me? No. Where the hell did it go? Ready? All right, let's talk about the brand new tornado warning that we have now for northern Horry County. This is unfortunately right in that same area that we had the tornado warning earlier this evening. That is because we once again have what is hopefully the last cell that is rotating now coming on shore just a couple of miles offshore, and this is almost identical to that tornado warning that we had earlier that thankfully didn't produce. However, this is once again another very impressive rotation signature. This one may be coming in a hair closer to Cherry Grove. So a heads up, again, those same places that we were talking about 2 hours ago, here in the heart of Cherry Grove, you are well within that tornado warning, as that tornado is likely right in here, and it's moving north, if not just a hair west of north. So that's going to bring it along Little River Neck Road into the heart of Cherry Grove, and then potentially also into the heart of Little River itself. All of those areas are included in that tornado warning. And once again, we have a very, very clear signature here of a tornado. It's out over the Atlantic right now, but only by about a mile. That means literally within the next couple of minutes, it is going to be coming on shore as it's moving just a little west of due north. So if you're in Cherry Grove right now, I want you to be in your tornado safe place. It's now dark. You're not going to see anything coming. Don't look outside. Don't wait for this. Better safe than sorry, as we've had a few more confirmed tornadoes there in eastern North Carolina. So these storms are producing the tornadoes here this evening. So here's Cherry Grove. If you're in Cherry Grove, along Little River Neck Road, Tidewater Drive, up towards Nixon Crossroads, and eventually all the way into Little River, you need to be in your tornado safe place. We're in really tight right now. Here is the rotation, literally just offshore of Cherry Grove. You can see Nixon Street. Here are the numbered avenues where we're just now getting done with the coastal flooding, and now a possible tornado getting very close. Here is the point up here in Cherry Grove. Sea Cabin, the pier is right here. If you're near any of those spots, you need to be in your tornado safe place. If you're a tourist on vacation, maybe watching from one of the high rises, get away from those sliding glass doors overlooking the ocean. That is certainly not where you want to be. If you're inland here along Little River Neck Road, Spinnaker Drive, Riverside Drive, H.C. Lewis Lane, and a little bit further inland, all the way up to Landing Road, all the way up to Highway 17, as you start getting closer to Little River, I want you to be in your tornado safe place as well. If this area of circulation holds together, it is going to work its way into that area. This is a view here right now of Highway 17 and Little River that you're looking at, but right now the focus continues to be right there in the heart of Cherry Grove, right on top of Cherry Grove coming in here. Now, thankfully, the last storm that had the tornado warning didn't produce. We never saw any video. We never saw any damage reports. So that is certainly some good news. That doesn't guarantee that we're going to be as lucky with this one. So again, just a couple of minutes now, right now, coming into Cherry Grove and Futch Beach. That's right there at Sea Cabin Pier. Little River Neck School, Macedonia Church, First Baptist, Little River School, and First Apostolic Church there in Little River, all within the potential path here of this tornado. Again, there's Riverside, there's Little River Neck, there's the heart of Cherry Grove, there is Duffy and Nixon, all of those areas right now. It looks like if there is one, it may have just come on shore. Again, at a minimum, we've got a fairly violently rotating thunderstorm that has worked its way right on top of Cherry Grove. You guys up in this area, I'm going to say this just like I said last time. Send me a tweet if you see something, if you hear something, if you see any damage, at Jamie Arnold, WMBF. That's going to be the easiest way to get in touch with me, especially if you have any pictures here from this area. So right now, it has come ashore. If there is something in there, it's likely pushing out of Cherry Grove right now, working its way towards Spinnaker, Riverside Drive, Victoria Falls Lane, Greenbrier Drive. I can't call out every street up in here, but if you live near one of these streets, I want you to be in your tornado safe place. Here's Little River here off to the side, likely going to come in just a hair west of Little River as this particular area of rotation passing about like this, about like so. So there's Highway 17, there's Highway 90, there's Nixon Crossroads. In between Little River and Nixon Crossroads is where we're going to see that tornado passing. If there is a tornado on the ground, it's going to work its way through that area literally just over the next couple of minutes. Horseshoe Road North, River Hills Drive. Here is Tidewater Drive. Here is Bucks Bluff Drive. That's where we're seeing that rotation right now. Again, right now, just on the north side of Cherry Grove. If there was a tornado, maybe there was a funnel cloud, probably didn't see much of anything. but it is now passing over Cherry Grove, working its way likely here over the swamps, and about 2 miles now from Highway 90 in between Nixon Crossroads and Little River. And it looks like we just got an updated scan. Lower rotation showing up. Notice that latest scan, we're not seeing those real bright colors. What we may have seen was a funnel cloud or perhaps a water spout that kind of quickly dissipated as it worked its way on shore, but there is still some decent rotation here. Decent rotation about to cross over Highway 90 in between Nixon Crossroads and Little River, right there along 17 and Highway 90. So Lightkeepers Way, River Hills Drive, that's where we're going to see it right now, where the reds and the greens are together. That's where we have that rotation about to cross right over that area here just within the next couple of minutes. We're going to check on the debris detection to see if we may have seen a touchdown. That did confirm that touchdown that we had in Georgetown County earlier with the debris detection. So we'll see if we can see anything on this one. And so far, not seeing any signs of that. If what we would, it would likely be right in this area. If this had been a touchdown, we would likely be seeing some debris in this area. As of right now, we are not seeing that. But you folks down there at Cherry Grove, if you did see something, please let me know. Shoot me a tweet at Jamie Arnold WMBF, and we'll, of course, pass that on to the National Weather Service. So here's the entire area encompassed in that tornado warning. It does include Little River up towards Brooksville and Highway 57. Of course, a lot of new neighborhoods going up on those areas. So I want you to stay tuned with this one in a couple of minutes. 10:23 coming into your area. Seacoast Medical Center here within the next minute. Right now, basically on top of Little River School and Little River, but again, primarily just, and I mean just a hair to the west of Little River. Going to kind of skim right by Highway 9 here on its way up into the Brooksville area. So we'll continue to keep an eye out for that. There again are some of the roads that we're looking at. Lightkeepers Way, River Hills Drive, Cedar Creek Run, Gulf Avenue, all these areas right along 90 and 17 in between Little River and Nixon's Crossroads. And it's a very fast motion on this storm, moving just a hair west of due north at around 30 miles per hour. It's moving very, very quickly off to the north, and still not seeing any signs of anything official coming in as far as any damage reports. Let's do another debris detection just in case to see if something has popped up in here, and not seeing anything that stands out too terribly much. We're not seeing the signature of any kind of debris being lofted by this potential tornado co-located here with what is likely now some pretty quickly diminishing rotation. It looks like that has now crossed over Highway 90 and 17 between Nixon's Crossroads and Little River, but not nearly as impressive of a signature of rotation that we had just about 5 minutes ago. So that is certainly some good news. Still some flooding downpours coming down out there, but at least for now, that area of rotation does look to be considerably weaker. It's going to be working its way towards Highway 57. Did just get a report here near House Creek about 30 power outages. That's up here in this area. So we'll kind of follow up on that. Again, if you're in that area, if you saw something, if you heard something, if you see any damage, make sure you let us know. You can do that on the First Alert Weather app, or best way to reach me is going to be right here on Twitter. Still very heavy rain coming down in the Brooksville area right now, and that is continuing to work its way onto the north at 30 miles per hour. Let's see, getting one tweet here out of this area coming in from, let's see, River Hills Drive. Some folks reporting kind of a roaring sound in that area just a couple of minutes ago. So we'll kind of follow up on that. But as far as that rotation, it looks like it's really just kind of perhaps spun its way down, which is good news. Just a shadow of its former self as it was just a couple of minutes ago. So if we did have something touch down, it was probably very brief, perhaps a water spout that lifted right as it was coming on shore there in Cherry Grove, which would definitely be some good news. Still looks like probably some gusty winds. Wouldn't be surprised to see some 40-mile-per-hour gusts at a minimum here, crossing over Highway 50 right there along the state line and about to cross over Highway 57, 40, maybe even 50 mile per hour wind gusts, but that's not associated with anything tornadic in this part of the storm. I think what we saw happen is as this storm approached the coast, that rotation tightened up really quick. There may have been something that briefly touched down and then has likely lifted, or it may have just been a funnel cloud that never touched down. That, of course, would certainly be the best news considering the very populated area this went over. Now, this tornado warning does extend all the way up here by Longs. I kind of have a feeling we're going to get this warning canceled early because the rotation really does look like it has weakened in a hurry here just over the past couple of minutes. But still, if you're up there around Longs, if you're around Stevens Crossroads, 57, 905, basically up and down that Highway 9 corridor all the way up to Longs, I still want you to kind of pay attention until we give you the all clear. Just in case this tries to spin up again, but at least for now, things are certainly looking a lot more optimistic than they were than just a couple of minutes ago when we had this working its way right on top of Cherry Grove. Again, if you were in Cherry Grove, if you heard something, if you saw something, make sure you let me know, but getting harder and harder now really to even find that rotation. So what has happened, I think we've seen this storm just kind of sort of unravel. Still maybe some 40 or 50 mile per hour wind gusts up here near the state line, across the border up there in Carolina Shores. But overall, it looks like an improving condition. And I think that's going to be it as far as our tornado threat. If we can kind of take a big view here of the radar across the area, this was the last big line that we've had to deal with. Now, north of the border, their tornado watch has been extended all the way through 4 a.m., but notice once we get this band across the border right here, we will see our tornado threat. That will be it. That will be coming to an end. The atmosphere not favorable for tornadoes, additional tornadoes once this band is in. Just got word, good news, that they have canceled that tornado warning early. So yeah, right on cue, that rotation did finally weaken. Continuing to focus here on what's happening across the PD, and that is significant flash flooding that is developing, especially from just north of Conway into the PD. All of these areas are now under flash flood warnings. We've been watching the DOT cameras here at Highway 501 northbound at Main Street in Aner. Looks like some significant flooding taking place there. That's going to be a trouble spot. And there's also another trouble spot there on 501 where you get on 22. That one can a lot of times pile up a lot of water, and maybe doing that tonight. Here's that view at 501. You can see crews here blocking. It's kind of hard to see. It's a little bit of a grainy picture, not the best quality, but a good chunk of 501 here dealing with quite a bit of standing water. A lot of standing water here. This is the Hardee's parking lot. A lot of standing water there, and you can see as these cars come through, it does appear as though it is still passable. But there is some pretty significant water up there, and it looks like they have at least one lane blocked there on 501. Again, this is 501 at Main Street in Aner. Here is the Hardee's. You got the Bojangles kind of back here on the other side of this view. You can watch this car. They'll kind of slowly push through that area. So again, 501 is not closed. It is still passable. But just a sign of what we're dealing with the increasing flash flooding. We also have live pictures. Let's take this one full if we can. This is from Matt Bullock, who is up in that area. He's transitioned from the coastal flooding now to the flash flooding, and these are his pictures coming in. These are from the Aner area, and it does look like some pretty significant flash flooding. It looks like a lot of these coming in here along Highway 501 there in the Aner area. So we have the flash flood warning that continues for Horry County, western Horry County, west of Conway into Aner, and also into Marion County through 11. That'll probably be extended. Florence County, Williamsburg County, also now under flash flood warnings through 1 a.m. And there's going to be some spots from northern Horry County all the way into parts of Florence County. I think we're going to get some double digits in a couple of isolated spots, likely going to pick up about 10 inches of rain. You can see there, though, the magnitude of the flooding that we're dealing with here in Aner. It is getting pretty significant. No signs of any kind of major road closures, especially with 501 but we are definitely getting some big-time rain out there, and those flash flood warnings continuing all the way through 1 a.m. as we are going to see some heavy rain. Let's switch back to First Alert Doppler radar real quick, then we'll kind of wrap things up and get you back to programming. But what we're looking at here are the rain totals that we've seen so far. And look at this pocket here right around Aner in northern Horry County, already coming in with 8 to 9 inches of rain. There may be some spots up there that pick up another 1 to 3 inches before all is said and done. So this may be our bullseye for the rainfall from Idalia coming in, as we're going to watch this area also continue to spread its way back in, and that may be what gives some of our spots 10 inches of rain. Of course, we will continue to keep you updated. We'll have the very latest coming up at 11 o'clock for WMBF News at 11.